Shalom. Before we begin the lesson, all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakar Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and teachers of Great Millstone for teaching me this 100% truth about our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and the true reason why he's coming back, which is to save the elect remnant of the house of Israel from their enemies and those that hate them, and to take over the earth and universe, which was given to him by the mighty Yahweh himself, the Ancient of Days, wherein our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, will establish righteousness throughout the whole earth and universe forever under the kingdom of the heaven of the Israelites. Shalom, Akim We one day closer to the kingdom. Back at you with another news update on what's going on over in Western Asia, which is also called the Middle East. We started out by reading out of the book of John, 8th chapter, 32nd verse. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Let me go drop down to 44, because we got some more shameful spewing on the glory of these Edomites, so-called modern-day white man. Once again, DJ, as soon as he starts speaking, you know he lying. Once again, he's lying. He's saying he about to end the war soon, as if he the king of the world. Saying that they didn't completely destroy well, I ain't gonna say completely destroyed. He ain't gonna say completely destroyed, but they done took out all of their weapons, saying that they drone capabilities is down to about 25%. They ain't shooting that many missiles no more. They don't have nothing left. They trying to say that they didn't won this war with Iran, right? Convincingly. Like it ain't even close. All they do is puff at his enemies and brag on himself. John 8:44. Ye are of your father, the devil. This is Yahweh Shai Mashiach speaking also, right? Just like he was in verse 32. Let's get back up to that. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Yahweh Shai Mashiach speaking. The one whom most Israelites call Jesus Christ, who call themselves Christians, right? John 8:44. Yahweh Shai Mashiach speaking. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning. Who fit that? So far, think to yourself, who kill a lot of people with their military, with the food they make, with the chemtrails in the air? I remember you can look this up. They put radioactive material and spread it on the Pruitt-Igoe projects in St. Louis. So much so that the soil was contaminated. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him, because the Lord didn't make him to have truth in him. He created these Edomites to be the wicked on the earth. They are his hammer. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Let's get that in NLT right quick. Make this quick. We got some clips we're going to show of the hypocrisy. The joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. John 8:44 NLT. For you are the children of your father, the devil. Let's look up devil right quick.
Strong's G 1228. Diabolos. Diabolos.
Diablos. Prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely, a calumniator, false accuser, slanderer. Metaphor applied to a man who by opposing the cause of the Most High Power may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. Who else goes around lying on people like these Edomites do? Now, everything they've been saying, Pete Hegseth, when they was on the plane, did you bomb that school? No, it wasn't us, it was Iran. And Pete Hegseth said, Iran is the one that killed civilians. But yet, who killed all them civilians over there in the Gaza Strip? Wasn't that the Israelis? Well, the Israelis then bombed some more shit. We got more evidence on that. More shameful spewing on your glory. When he lies, it is consistent with his character. Let me read this. I'll start over again. For you are the children of your father, the devil, and you love to do the evil things he does. He was a murderer from the beginning. He has always hated the truth because there is no truth in him. When he lies, it is consistent with his character. For he is a liar and the father of lies. Yeah. That's these Edomites. And the Lord finna show the world his most shameful spewing on your glory, Esau. Ye are the sons of perdition, the wicked that the Bible speaks of. Let's drop down. Habakkuk 2:16, thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Let's get that in the NLT. Because this man keeps saying, we got the greatest military in the world. We cannot be beat. They didn't took out most of the military equipment that Iran has. But on the contrary, we got some reports saying that Iran done took out a lot of America's military equipment when they hit all the military bases that are throughout that region. And them Israelis been getting hit too. But they won't show you that in Western media. Habakkuk 2:16 NLT. But soon it will be your turn to be disgraced. Come drink and be exposed. Drink from the cup of Yahweh's judgment, and all your glory will be turned to shame. Yeah, those things are happening. Trump came out and lied to them people that's in the stock market, and they thought, so the oil prices dropped because they told them the war was going to be over soon. And the Iranians said, nah, you can't determine that, buddy. It's going to end when we want it to end. And they saying, nah, they ain't shooting nothing less than a 1 ton. Since Trump's lied and said that their arsenal has been depleted. They done took out all their weapons. They saying, nah, they ain't firing nothing but weapons that can carry 1 ton or more of munitions. You see how you get yourself up out of this one, Esau. Because it's privately they already saying they trying to find an exit up out of this war. Why? Because guess what? Just like last year in June, it only lasted 12 days. Right now, we're on the 11th day. And this time, the Iranians done hit all kind of radars, military equipment, satellites, THAAD systems. They ain't got but 8. They done took out 5 of them in the Middle East, Western Asia, a.k.a. the Middle East, right? Jeremiah 13:23. Here's a question for you. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may you also do good that are accustomed to do evil? No, man, that's all these Edomites do, man. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And all they do is lie. Guess what is right here? They being exposed. The Lord taking them down. Let's go back to Habakkuk, right? You can read the whole 2nd chapter. It applies to Esau, Edom, and what they fate finna be. Habakkuk 2:4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. All they keep doing is talking bad about these boys, Iranians. And they asked him, you the one told them you was going to help them out when they were doing them little protests because y'all put them economic sanctions on them and try to collapse their money system. That didn't work either. Let's go to the book of Psalms. Like all right, we'll go to 10. Because he like puffing up at his enemies. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get this. A future prophecy for these Edomites, wherever they may be, especially over here in America and in the unrecognized state of Israel. Because like I just said, I mean, like in another lesson, reports coming out that being converted might be done away with Smotrich's son might be done away with, and Netanyahu's brother. They thought they had Netanyahu, but ain't nobody confirming that. We ain't heard from him in a minute, though. He need to make a public appearance. Psalms 11:5. Yahweh trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. So you know he don't like these Edomites. Look at them. All they do is create wars. America is celebrating its 250th year of being in existence. And out of them 250 years, 16 years, they didn't have a war. Yahweh trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. Here go the point. Upon the wicked, he shall rain snares, fire, and brimstone, and in horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. Well, let's get something else. Go to the book of Job, 18th chapter. Job 18:5. Yet the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. Lord setting these boys up for failure. Everybody gonna turn and shoot their arrows over here, meaning them ICBM missiles. The steps of his strength shall be set. I'm gonna jump down to 7. Job 18:7. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. You see, their house is divided. We did several lessons on that. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. They always trying to trap people. Why do you think they flag say the eagle with the olive branch in one hand and the sword in the other? They just like they lured them into them 2 negotiations for a ceasefire deal. They said they ain't going for it this time. So we don't know what the fuck Donald Trump talking about the war about to be over. Not in the eyes of them Iranians. The jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Because they didn't took out all them little radar systems over there in them on the military bases. And them THAAD systems. It's only the THAAD system left in the unrecognized state of Israel with the little Patriot systems and they Iron Dome interceptor system they got. That shit is not working no more. Let's jump down to the point. This for Esau Edom. Job 18:14. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle. He ain't finna be bragging for too much longer. And it shall bring him to the king of terrors. And who was that? The Almighty Yahweh. By Hashem Yahweh Shai. It shall dwell in his tabernacle because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. That meaning, man, hey, it's going to be a wrap for y'all. After the Lord take y'all down, and y'all go into that 1,000 years of continual employment, after that, you're going to get cut off forever. His remembrance shall perish from the earth. Look, there it is. And he shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. And it shouldn't be no complaint or no kind of reason for anybody to say, why would the Lord do this to these nice white people? Yeah, okay. So-called white people. And who they been nice to? Nobody, not even they self. So they got to get removed off the face of the earth. They are the cancer that's on this earth. Right? They that come after him shall be astonished at his day. As they that went before were affrighted. They didn't put hell on all the nations, especially us. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not the Most High power. Because the Lord finna take y'all out the power seat, buddy. He doing it right now. Ecclesiastes 7:13. Consider the work of the Most High power. For who can make straight what he hath made crooked? He created these Edomites so he can show his power through them. Right? He gonna show y'all what it's like, just like he did with the Egyptians. He built their kingdom up, let them be an empire, then he took their ass down. He finna do the same thing to these Edomites. Romans 9. Let's just get to the point. Romans 9:22. What if the Most High Power, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure it with much long suffering, the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? That's the Edomites. It seems like it's been a long time they've been in rulership and just doing everybody wrong, especially the children of Israel. But the Lord did that so he could make his power known. Watch how he take these Edomites up out the power seat. Just like it read in Obadiah. As ye have done, it shall be done unto thee. I think I had something. Let me see if I got any more precepts. Nah, Shalaki. That's all we need. We're going to let the people speak for themselves. Shameful spewing on the glory of Esau, Edom, man. The truth continues to come out about their wickedness. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. Reports also coming out that they just killed 206 women and children over in Iran. So, once again, we'll end it on this. I'm going to get... Once again, they was lying. Let's go back to this precept. Deuteronomy 33:29. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by Yahweh, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency. And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. I don't know if I got this, but let me go back and get it. Yeah, I think I read that. Yo. Shalaki. I wanted times 10. Because it's DJ to a T. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High power. And there's reports coming out that Netanyahu, he ain't even religious. He don't even believe in the Most High power. None of them ish people do. That's how you know they liars. Right? Because they say Yahushua Mashiach ain't even came on the scene yet. Right? The Messiah ain't came on the scene yet. What's the New Testament about? As it reads in the New Testament, those who don't acknowledge Yahushua Mashiach are liars. Roughly paraphrased. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He said, he hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Who fit that description? Who has that kind of character? We just read it. John 8:44, right? The Edomites. Let's move over. Oh, yeah, I already read that one. I'll jump up to 2, Shalaki. Psalms 10:2. The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom Yahweh abhorreth. Now, DJ said he might have to take control of the Strait of Hormuz. You know that's not possible, buddy. But let's listen to some of these lies, and then let's see the results and see what everybody else is saying around the world, other than over here in America. Right? Let's put this up again. Fair use is in full effect. This is for educational purposes only, for news reporting. Guess what, Israel? We one day comes to the kingdom. The Iranians saying they're going to start using them big boy missiles now. They can carry 1 ton or better of destructive munitions. Let's see what Esau going to do about that. And we're going to see how they're going to spin this narrative Because they done hit 13 hospitals and 3 schools. But yet, they keep calling the Iranians the people that target civilians. The joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. Shalom.
Tomahawk is very generic. It's sold to other countries, but that's being investigated right now. The big risk on that war has been over for 3 days. We wiped them out in the first 2 days. The drones are down to probably 25%. Everything they have is gone, including their leadership. In fact, there are 2 levels of leadership, and even actually, as it turns out, more than that. But 2 levels of leadership are gone.
Missile strike and a Tomahawk missile likely destroyed that Iranian girls' school. So will the U.S. accept any responsibility?
Well, I
for
haven't
that strike?
seen it, and I will say that the Tomahawk, which is one of the most powerful weapons around, is used by, is sold and used by other countries. You know that. And whether it's Iran, who also has some Tomahawks, I wish they had more, but whether it's Iran or somebody else, the fact that a Tomahawk is very generic. It's sold to other countries, but that's being investigated right now.
Mr. President, you've said the war is, quote, very complete, but your defense secretary says this is just the beginning. So which is it, and how long should Americans be prepared
Well, I think
for
you could
this war
say
to
it
last
both.
for?
It's the beginning. It's the beginning of building a new country. But they have no Navy, they have no Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft equipment. It's all been blown up. They have no radar, they have no telecommunications, and they have no leadership. It's all gone. So, you could look at that statement. We could call it a tremendous success right now as we leave here. I could call it, or we could go further, and we're going to go further. But the big risk on that war has been over for 3 days. We wiped them out in the first 2 days. When you think about it, it's incredible. We wiped out a big Navy, very powerful Navy. These were ships. These were serious ships. These were ships that you buy when you want to win battles. They're all on the bottom floor. The sailors are all running off the ships. They refuse to get on the ships. The Air Force is gone. Everything's gone. The missiles are down to a trickle. The drones are down to probably 25%, and they'll soon be down to nothing. We'll have where they manufactured the drones are under fire as we speak. They're being hit. So the rest is going to be determination as to my attitude, along with the people in the Trump administration, what we want to do.
On Iran, you called it an excursion. You said it would be over soon. Are you thinking this week it will be over?
No,
Are you talking
but soon.
about days?
I think soon.
Okay, and with respect
Very
to
soon. Look, everything they have is gone, including their leadership. In fact, there are 2 levels of leadership, and even actually, as it turns out, more than that. But 2 levels of leadership are gone. Most people have never even heard about the leaders that they're talking about. So it's obviously been very, very powerful, very effective.
المطار راح يا ولاد راح المطار راح مطار لفتيم راح يا رب يا ولاد مطار لفتيم راح يا رب يا الله يو نفيلة لو امين
Imale masa. Yo, Imale, yo.
شوف الفطاط شوفوا
The Iranians are precisely picking us apart. They're taking us apart piece by piece by piece. They took out our early warning eyes in Al Udeid, $1.1 billion early warning radar, gone. They've taken out other radars. They've destroyed 5 THAAD batteries, which I believe, and I wrote this earlier, is the maximum number we have deployed in the region. So our THAAD is no longer operational outside of Israel. And they are now picking us apart, destroying there are people who are saying the amount of destruction done to American military infrastructure is the greatest in the history of the United States, that outside of the Civil War. Nobody has ever inflicted this much harm on the United States. Nobody has attacked American military installations to this degree. And the Iranians are just picking us apart piece by piece by piece. They're using intelligence provided by the Russians and the Chinese that specifically identify locations, and they have the weapon systems that are able to strike these locations, and we don't have the ability to defend ourselves. So ask yourself, who's winning this war?
The United States and Israel are waging an extremely brutal war against Iran. They're not only hitting military targets, they are targeting civilian areas. The World Health Organization reported that in just the first few days of this war, the US and Israel bombed at least 13 hospitals and health facilities in Iran. Even right-wing pro-Israel media outlets in the West, like for instance the British conservative newspaper The Telegraph, are admitting that Tehran is an apocalypse of hospitals in flames and children buried beneath rubble, as the US and Israel are intentionally bombing civilian areas. One of the most horrifying attacks, which was carried out on the first day of this war, was the bombing of a girls' elementary school in southern Iran. And the New York Times has admitted that the US military bombed this school. More than 170 Iranians lost their lives. The vast majority were children, and this was carried out by the US military. And this is not an isolated case by any means. The New York Times also reported that on the 5th of March, the US and Israel bombed 2 more schools in Iran. So that means they have bombed at least 3 Iranian schools in 5 days. And these are just the cases that we know about. There are probably more. The United Nations Education Agency, UNESCO, emphasized that these US attacks on schools in Iran constitute, quote, a grave violation of international law, end quote. And it goes without saying that this war is totally illegal. Experts on international law have emphasized that it violates international law and that the US was engaged in negotiations in so-called peace talks with Tehran when the US launched this illegal surprise war of aggression, sabotaging the negotiations.